What's going on, everyone? Welcome back to the channel. Dude, I have some sad news, and I haven't done a video like this in a minute. I think the last time I did these was when the iPhone 6s and 6s Plus SE stopped being supported by Apple, and another device to follow that same suit is the iPad mini 4. Now, here's the interesting thing about this, okay? It's still technically supported with iOS 12, so don't get it twisted. Apple's still supporting it, but in terms of the development and buying it in the Apple Store, you can no longer buy the iPad mini 4 in the Apple Store and online. You can buy it in the used market. You can buy them on Amazon or anything. I'll leave a link in the description, first link down there. You can buy it on Amazon from there. But because of the new iPad Air and the iPad mini, the 2019 version, the iPad mini 4 is no longer being developed. And I'll tell you this, this thing came out in 2015. Now, I've already done a double ISY on it. I've already explained, whether it's still worth it, all that stuff. You can go type in my name and then the iPad mini 4 review 2019, you'll find it. But I think the iPad mini 4 sits in a very strange spot because it shares a lot of parts with the iPhone 6 and also the iPhone 6s. And even though it stopped pretty much being manufactured, I also think it's going to stop being supported by Apple in terms of software on iOS 13. So I don't think it's going to get iOS 13. Now, I could be crazy or something like that, but here's my justification for that. The iPad mini 4 and actually the iPhone 6 share a lot of the similar parts. But also the weird thing is the iPhone 6s and the iPad mini 4 share same parts as well. So the iPad mini 4 has the Apple A8 chip, which was the same as the iPhone 6, but it has 2 gigs of RAM, which is the same as the iPhone 6s. So it's really in that middle part. Before I said that pretty much all devices with 2 gigs of RAM will be supported with iOS 13, but right now I honestly don't know. And that's kind of an even more sad fact for the iPad mini 4 because this was the thing that was pretty much chugging along the iPad mini line for a very long time. I mean, since 2015, Apple hasn't refreshed this thing up until like today. So almost 4 years later, this is a brand new iPad mini that we're getting, but honestly, it's not even that much of an improvement. I mean, it's an improvement definitely in terms of the specs, but in terms of the design, it's pretty much exactly the same. It was only like an internal refresh, which is okay. I like that a lot. We have Apple Pencil support and all that stuff, but I still think the iPad mini 4 is a pretty decent tablet, okay? When I owned it, I didn't think it was completely slow. I thought it was a pretty decent size. I used to own the iPad mini 2 as like a personal device before I switched to an iPad Air, and I really like that tablet a lot. That size, that fluidity of that device was awesome. I really had no complaints other than maybe the screen, and then the iPad mini 4 brought a better screen with a laminated display. It was awesome. I loved it a lot. And I'll definitely tell you, I think this is a pretty decent stepping stone, going from the iPad mini 4 to the new iPad. I think it's going to be a noticeable upgrade, but I think the biggest upgrade will come in terms of the support. The iPad mini, the new one, will definitely last longer than this iPad. And like I stated, I think this iPad is probably going to stop on iOS 12. Now, you don't have to quote me on it, but because of that little middle ground that it's in, I think it's pretty decent on iOS 12, but I think when it goes to iOS 13, maybe it'll slow down depending on, based off everything Apple's going to be doing with iOS 13. So I'm definitely curious on what happens there, but that's pretty much the whole entire iPad mini 4, man. Again, I liked it a lot. I think it was pretty cool. I definitely like the way it looks and everything like that, but it's a pretty decent stopping point. And, if you can pick one up, if you need an iPad for some reason, the iPad mini 4 is pretty decent. I really didn't have, I think it's a decent device all around. I still think they're kind of expensive. I would definitely recommend getting maybe or even an iPad 2017. Those devices were really, really good. I've heard nothing but rave reviews about it, but the iPad mini 4 will be cheaper than those. So I'll leave a link in the description for an iPad mini 4 as well as the iPad, the 2017 and 2018 versions if you guys want to pick those up. Those will be the first links down in the description, but that is pretty much it. Rest in peace to the iPad mini 4. I love you. Again, if you guys have any questions or anything, leave it down in the comment section below. Hit that like button. That'll mean so much, but definitely hit that subscribe button. Every single subscriber that we get really does count, so it'll mean so much if you guys could hit that. Also, check out the other links down in the description as well. My Twitter, my Instagram, my second channel, all those links are linked down below. I'd really appreciate it if you guys could check it out. But more importantly than everything else, I love every single one of you guys. And hopefully I'll catch you guys in the next video. Peace out till then.